The chairman of the House of Representatives ad hoc committee on flood management and response, Honorable Midala Balami, has described flooding as a recurring national emergency with devastating consequences for lives, property, and livelihoods across the country. Speaking at the inauguration of the committee in Abuja, Balami said flooding was no longer a seasonal inconvenience but a national emergency that demands urgent, coordinated, and strategic action. He emphasized the need for a comprehensive national framework covering prevention, early warning system, emergency response, community resilience, infrastructure, and climate adaptation. The Speaker of the House, Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, represented by the House Leader, Honorable Julius Ihumbere, expressed concern over corruption in flood management, accusing some states and local governments of misusing ecological funds. He stressed that the floods affect communities at the grassroots, not the National Assembly or the presidency, thereby calling for accountability from state and local governments. Also speaking, the Minister of State for Humanitarian and Poverty Reduction, Dr. Yusuf Sunono, disclosed that nearly 3 million Nigerians had been displaced by floods, with poverty worsening in the north. He hereby warned that $36 billion global funding gap had forced the suspension of food aid to 1.3 million Nigerians, including 300,000 children, and said the federal government is expanding social investment programs and offering farmers interest-free loans to cushion the impact.
We are all aware, flood has become a recurrent and devastating challenge across many parts of our country. Each year, lives are lost, properties destroyed, livelihood disrupted, and the socioeconomic fabrics of the entire communities severely affected. This is no longer a seasonal inconvenience, it is a national emergency that demands urgent, coordinated, multi-sectoral, multidisciplinary strategic action.
This ritual we perform every year. It is time for it to stop, and I'm hoping that this committee will do that. Every government at the local and state level, they know the flood is coming. They know. And sometimes they are using it to fleece the federal government because the presidency gives them money. Ecological fund, there's flood coming, 3 billion. Not one thing is done. No shelters are constructed. And when they are constructed, they are abandoned for an entire year. By the time the flood comes, they are not habitable.
Today, we also mark a situation whereby globally funding is becoming short for humanitarian aids. In fact, the United Nations estimated that the funding gap today is $36 billion globally. And in Nigeria, we are also affected seriously. Just a few days ago, I had the Cost Address World Press Conference on the suspension of the activities of our World Food Program